Sarkodie released a song even without any announcement. And that is a big blow.
You worry Ben Sack.
And it's an insult to we the fans.
Overnight.
How do you release a song without telling us? Number one. Number two, you release a song using this girl without informing me. Sarkodie.
Number three.
You have disrespected me.
I'm sure he is listening.
Of course.
I'm telling you, so I'm talking to him. Okay. Why? Who does he think he is? I'm telling him my piece of mind. You, Sarkodie, small boy like you.
Landlord, though.
You
go send a macho man in a video.
Yes.
He has block. He got block.
Landlord.
I would need bottom.
I bet you a girl.
I want him.
Oh, into the boy, no name the oka.
No name the oka. Listeners, if you've not heard No Sir yet from Sarkodie, please listen.
They throw shots at boys.
Yes.
Boys. It means
because Sarkodie threw shots. You have not listened to the song,
No Sir, indeed, that's what we're going to be talking about. So, what's the inspiration behind this new track, No Sir?
This is a real life story, and I think from both perspectives we have
real life story of who?
No, me, oh no, I think it's happened to me before.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's happened to me before.
It actually happened to you before.
Yes, a friend of mine, but it wasn't this bad. So he came from a good family. Of course, I grew up not poor, but middle. And he had a car, he had a space, he had I think the boys' quarter at his house. So my girl, who we all know, I think he even knew the girl before me. But the fact that I am the one dating the girl now, he couldn't stand it. And then they linked up, But I took it to the chin and then changed from that day. So I've not been in that position in a very long time.
Okay.
I'm not in the other position too because I don't take people's, But this is a very relatable story because most times, especially this December, people going out with their girlfriends, you might end up going back alone. It happens a lot. So that's what I thought about and just let me make some record out of it and then, give it to the people. And actually getting the same feedback that I knew it was going to get.
How's it performing so far?
It's amazing. So the story is, I was holding on to the song. I wanted the back and forth after elections. It's a very heated environment right now. So I wasn't ready to release any song. I don't know whether fortunate or unfortunately, the distributors dropped it without, I didn't. Yes, but I think it's a technical problem that happened. It was in a system for yesterday that was supposed to be next week, and then it came out. But maybe it was meant to be out, and I can't control that. Yes.
Just for me.
Yes, exactly. I was about to be, when you, because I had a song for it's been 2 years, about 2.
Really?
Yeah, I've had this song for a long time. I wrote it when I was on tour, but I was holding on to it. So you can imagine how precious the song is to me, and I didn't do any grand announcement, nothing. Then it came out of the blue. So people, I hear feedback coming and they say, Sarkodie just dropped a song without telling us. No, I wanted to tell you.
Okay.
But it dropped the same. I woke up in the morning, it was already out. But it's doing amazing. I thank God, he knows what's best. So yes, it's doing great.
Thank you. Now, I also noticed that the lady who featured in the video, Sheena,
yes,
is around.
Yes, she is.
Is that to communicate anything to Ben South?
So, guess what? I was shopping around Malcolm, and I saw her, but she had a back turned to me. I was like, this girl could have been great for the No Sir video, right? This girl too could have been great, and it turned out to be her. It's amazing. I think it was a surprise to me. And big shouts to Ben South. I'm sorry.
To get opinions. First one, so Sarkodie in national issues. Let's talk about it real quick.
So you've been quiet.
Yeah, people have been saying
the
that.
Economy.
My mention's full up. I just know one topic.
Yeah, plenty.
So now when you play back, when I did Masses Inflation Doom, so who told me to do it? So and the funny thing is, yeah. You might think you're doing a good thing trying to get me to do. You're actually interfering in creative feel. Because now when I do it, I told you I don't do stuff sitting down and thinking, oh, Ghanaian said I should talk about the economy. That would not be authentic. I would say stuff that I don't mean. It has to happen organically. That's what happened with it. And it's still relevant at this point. Whatever I said, the inflation hasn't changed. So, going to say it again, these same people will say,
Yeah.
So, and I don't explain it because Nipa no OT, they are listening. It's 2 years in Ghana. We have political years and regular years, and the political years dominate the country.
But what about people who are reading meaning to it? That is because you said Toaso, so that's why you're not able to speak.
And guess what? That same line, what I said, I say he should Toaso. I still stand by it because I think I benefited from free education directly, and I have the right to say I endorse that because this is directly. My mom has I have these girls who have been supporting her. First, I'm not saying it's much, but just the fact that you're not even hearing that, getting that call, it came from that place where, and I was specific about what I was endorsing. Of course, I knew the line. Meaning said, because that's the creative part of me, and I need the whatever that comes with it. But that's what I stand by, and I still stand by it. But of course, the country is worse. We are in serious crisis. Go for bread.
Let's talk about investments.
So I was born and bred in Tema, Community 9 General Hospital, and that's where I lived in Community 9. And then after some, I don't know, but I was still very young. My dad came to pick me up, and we went to Koforidua, to live. We were living at Adjusu Estate. I went to school at Universal in Koforidua for a while. Then came back to Accra to live at Mile 7. Old Peace FM, that area.
That area,
yes.
Yeah.
And I used to school at Achimota Preparatory.
Okay.
Yeah, that actually took a lot of my life. I spent a lot of my life at Mile 7.
Oh, okay.
Those were some dark times for me as well. Went through a whole lot, and even surviving that should tell you that there's something bigger than us. So came out of that, came to Tema to complete JSS, I think Form 3. Right after that, stayed in Tema, went to Methodist Day Secondary in Tema. Yeah, and then right after that, I did IPMC, and then I'm still doing music now.
Wow. So, I mean, you went to IPMC to study
graphic designing, yeah.
Okay, so that's where you got the graphic designing stuff from that. Did you practice it before music? Did you practice a little bit? You did.
Deep within me, I really wanted to do music. I think it's a passion. That's something I do effortlessly. And I was a young kid with a lot of emotions, because of stuff that I went through as a kid, and I wanted a way to express it. So it started by writing, because let me say this quick story. People who know Sarkodie know a song called Mile 7 Saga, which was a situation that happened in Mile 7. God bless whoever I was staying with. I think maybe she didn't know better, so I wouldn't judge her, but that made me who I am today. So it was very critical at that point, staying there at Mile 7. And these are times that people can take their lives because of the stress, the problems. I didn't know where my mom was, didn't know where dad was. My mom didn't know where I was, because my dad came to pick me. My dad knew where I was, but I didn't know where he was staying. So I could see him sometimes, but not regularly.
But how did you land in Mile 7?
Because dad took me to the woman, to stay with her.
With someone, okay.
Yes, with someone. And it wasn't. As a child, I didn't understand it, because I didn't know better. I thought it was life, but I could sense it's not normal, because of the maltreatment. As a child, I think if you were living with your mom, this wouldn't be, the situation.
So the real love,
exactly, that connection wasn't there. So just craving for that for a long time. But that actually made me very emotional. So I really wanted to express what I felt as a person. I miss mom, so I would just write a letter, and then I don't know, because I can't. Those days were days that you don't have phones. You have to go to a pay phone. You have the chip, the card thing, you load it. And I'm a kid. I couldn't do that. And this is a crying time. As a kid, that's like here and
long miles, miles away.
Exactly. So, and I didn't know where my mom was. So that was a very dark time for me in life. I think we were like 7 people living in a room like this, and it was really bad. It was really bad, but I did survive that, and that made me who I am. It makes me observe a lot, so as life is going, I know how to chill back and just look at everything that's happening, because I was that quiet child who's always in some corner looking at stuff, don't have friends, so that whole time just built the persona Sarkodie. So as much as it was bad at that point, I didn't know that it was a preparation for who I am today, to say things that my fellow colleagues might not be able to even say because of what I went through at that time. So Mile 7 went through that for a very long time, from primary to JSS 2. As I was about to finish was when mom found me. So I was in school one day, and I just saw my mom coming to Achimota Preparatory, sitting in class. I saw my mom outside. I didn't even care if the teacher would beat me or anything. I just literally woke up, went to hug mom. I'm like, it's been forever. And, you know, she saw me, and I think as she saw me, the look, you know,
your face,
yes, the way I was skinny.
Things were not
yes,
well.
You look sick, you know. So, and as a mother, you know how they will react. You know, they want to take their child away. You know, so in the beginning, it wasn't easy. She had already had 4 to take care of, and coming to add me is not easy. So what she did was take me to where I was living, try to like send her quota to the woman, you know, to take care of me, just to keep me there, and at the right time she'll come and pick me up. So she used to come when we vacate, or sometimes I'll be in school, she'll come and give me money. I go back, I give it to the same woman, you know. And the last time that she saw me, that she took me back to Tema, it was about 2 terms I'll complete school. So you can imagine how serious it was for her to not say complete and let me come and pick you. No, we're going today.
And that was an abrupt cut of your education.
Exactly.
And she was ready to take that risk.
Yes. And she said I'll complete from Tema. I'll have to come. I'll drive. A woman used to drop me off at, there was a place called CP Junction.
Yeah.
That now they have done the overpass, but then you walk
through that
to school. So I had to finish the last term from Tema, you know, come back and forth, because when she saw me for the last time, it's like, if I leave today, I might not see you again, because the way you look, you know. So I didn't have the heart to tell her what the issues were, because I was young, and I thought you're being naughty or being a bad boy if you complain about who you're living with. Now I'm old, so I would understand that this is wrong. I would go like, no, this woman is doing this. But as a kid, I had no idea.
You had to swallow everything.
Exactly. So when mom comes, I have to pretend like everything is okay. Actually, one funny situation was this writing thing. You know, I was writing to mom. It's like a letter saying, I miss you. I want to be with you. I don't want to stay here. And I fell asleep writing the letter. So the woman comes in.
She saw it.
Picks the letter. Got mad. Called my mom. My mom came over, and this woman is complaining as if I am being a bad person, and I didn't understand. So I was saying sorry, crying, saying sorry. I will not do this again. Now, mom, I'm sorry. And my mom came. My mom was so pissed as well. So the two combined, I had to kneel down, beg this woman, and right after mom left, you can imagine the war that I have to face. You know, so it was recently when I grew up was when I told her what was happening, and she's like, "Why didn't you tell me all along? You know, when I was coming?" I'm like, I was scared, because if I should say it, and maybe you don't take it like that, you tell her, you can imagine the problem. And there's a lot of kids, I believe, going through
the same situation. What's your advice to them? I mean, they are watching you. Some of them are listening to you right now. If anybody is going through the same, what would be your advice for them?
It would be hard for you to listen to me, because if you're in the situation, even if you look around your circumstances, you don't find any way out. That is how it seems like. And that's how people end their lives. If they don't, they tend to, you know, the bad life on the streets. You want to like... And I get it. I know why kids would want to do that, because of the situations at home. Because I used to panic when I hear the closing bell, you know, from school. I wish school would just go throughout to the next day, because now they say the closing bell, and I need to go and face this.
You wish school never ends.
Exactly. You know, so anybody who is in that situation, I bet you, you know, it will pay off with time, but you have to be calm with it. You know, it's a situation you're going through. It's a phase. It can take long, but it's not going to be like that forever. And actually, those who go through that situations always end up, you know, doing well. You know, so let me be a bit funny. It's a good thing to go through it. You know, it will really build you up to be a good person.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow, touching. Every time you speak, you speak so passionately about your mom.
Yeah.
You speak less about your dad. Why is it so?
I think it's just natural, you know. But in all, I don't think my dad is. That perception shouldn't be there. I'm not talking about him because he's like a bad person and all that.
Yeah.
But I think my dad, looking at my dad, makes me learn more. And I think it's for all young men. You know, we growing up. I think for men, showing emotions is very hard for us. You know, so sometimes kids misinterpret it. You know, so we don't get it. Maybe mom would show a lot more. Mom would like to hug you, tell you stories. You know, our dads can love you even way more than your mom does, but you know how they express it is a bit different. So I think my dad, I respect him now as a young man, you know, having a child, getting married. I understand his position.
Yeah.
But I think to all of us, moving forward, we have to be a bit vulnerable to our kids with time. Like, let's show them the ins and out. Let's be way closer to them. I think the difference is just my mom. I'm way closer to my mom, and she would make the effort to make me see how far she would go. You know, my dad would do the same, but maybe I might not see it.
Yeah.
But now I realize things that he has done. But it's just natural. I just know my mom way more because I stayed with her. The usual. I think for almost every person in the world, you know, the whole mom, son, mom, daughter thing. You know, but there's nothing against that.
Okay.
Yes, my mom has said things that has come to pass. You know, my mom could say something and it will happen because I believed in it and I worked on it, so it did happen. You know, so I think you panic when you don't know your stand with God. You know, because if they say, my whole life there's a lot of prophecies that's come on my way, like people actually giving me 7 days and all that. You know?
Hey,
so yeah, I met
to
somebody,
die.
Yeah, somebody, and then I think he went to my mom straight to say that to my mom. My mom panicked, and that is when I believe the devil works, because I think it's 2 F's. God goes with faith, devil goes with fear. So you have to choose where you stand as a person, you know. So I met him outside, and I was disappointed, not because of the prophecy. You don't go to my mom to say these things to my mom, you know. But for me, over the years, I've been able to beat certain situations that makes me feel like you can be in charge only if you align yourself well with God, so you can talk to him directly.
Right.
And anything I pray with mom as well. So over the years, I'm not going to say it's there or it's not, but what I've experienced personally with God is anything that I ask him for, he does it. If there's a situation that he has to solve, he does it. He's never failed till now. So it's going to be hard for me to, like, you know, panic with these things, but I know it might be possible that you've seen something.
Great, awesome. So for you pray about it. When it comes to you find time to pray.
I think I pray almost every time, and my prayer has always been trying to, like, God to eliminate, you know, not totally, you can't take negativity out of your life totally. It will come, but then you need the wisdom and the understanding to go through these times, because I think mainly it's the state of mind. And if you feel you're not too connected to God and you hear these things, and you definitely panic. Exactly. You know, I'm not talking to my father, I'm not talking to my mom. So now if somebody's coming to the house to come and beat me, there's nobody.
You'll be scared.
Exactly. You know, but me, if you have your connections right, you talk to God 24/7, you feel like you have a connection with him directly. If it's positive, you act on that, it's going to happen. If it's negative and you also want to, like, feed into that, that is possible that it can happen too.
And talk of prayer, before you mount any stage, do you pray?
Yes.
There are videos, I hear there are videos of you circulating that when you're going on stage, you're actually holding hands with your team and you are praying.
Yeah. Even if we forget to do that, I think individually in our heads we do it. But normally what we do is we gather in one of the rooms, either mine or the DJs or whoever. We just hold hands, and because we believe that we don't have control over what is happening. You know, I know within me that I have nothing. Let me say I have 10% to do with what's happening. You know, the 90 has nothing to do with me. So it's scary and fun. The fun bit is your manager is God. You know, can you imagine how fun that is?
Yeah.
Exactly. He is controlling the wheel, and you can imagine the things he will bring in your way. No human being can work as hard as he works. You know, he will open doors that you can never believe, and he's been doing this over the years. The scary part is you never know when something big is about to happen. So you, as a Christian, you panic. You know, hey, am I going to get the next song? Are you going to have the biggest song? Will you ever win this award? What if you die out? Like all these things. But when you have something that you believe this is how you're doing it, you are sure. You have the best manager. You think you are sure, but then again, God forbid, but your manager can die. Okay, any human being that you're dealing with can die. We are doing our best here, but there's something way bigger than us working for us. So each and every time that we go on tour, shows, anything, we have to sanctify ourselves, have the best of shows. And I always pray that definitely when I step on that stage, people are going to scream, but God, can you use this platform to be another milestone that people want to demand for you more. Exactly.
More. So they can do the same God has done for you to them.
Exactly.
You know, you are lucky. I mean, your manager is God, and you seem to have a heavenly manager.
Executive producer.
Yes, it's God. And your earthly manager is also an angel who protects you.
Yes.
You are lucky. You are very lucky, man. You've got angels and you have Jesus. Okay, so